hello. Oh, hello. Hi. So I'm here. I'm Nisi with Nisi and Lisi, and this is Bailey, who's going to be helping me with this little video on how to train your puppy to ring some bells to ask to go outside. So, oh, she's sniffing around for the treats that I have over here. So I just wanted to say hi to anyone who is doing our 10-day puppy challenge this week. I wanted to add a little extra video for you on the subject of potty training, since that's always a hot topic for puppies. And I really like teaching the puppies how to ring a bell to ask to go out. This is actually really nice for adult dogs as well. So if you have an adult dog, it's great too. I really like it for adult dogs who are doing something that you don't want them to do to ask to go out. So if they're barking at you or they're running up to your door and just slamming their paw into it and scratching up your door, the bells are really nice for that. So, and for puppies, it's really nice because, they will give you that signal to tell you that they need to go out, which is great. So if they're not being very clear on when they need to go out, they're just kind of wandering around the house, they're going to a different room or something like that, it's really nice for a puppy to go and have a really clear signal to tell you that they need to pee. Bailey's been doing really well with this. She's here on Board and Train, and we've been working on this for the last couple of weeks while she's been here. And she's been running right over and ringing the bell and letting me know when she needs to pee, which is awesome. So when you start doing this, I'm just gonna move her over on the other side here. So when you start doing this, you just want to make sure that you're picking the right kind of bells for your dog. So I've ordered these bells. You can kind of see, I'm just gonna tilt it a little bit. So they're pretty long. Because I have small dogs here often, I want to make sure that they go low enough that a small dog can easily go up and touch that without having to jump up and scratch at my door, so they can go bang on it with their nose. And those are fairly large bells too. So if you have a really tiny dog, you can just get little tiny bells and hang them on a long line. I just ordered those online, but you can definitely do this as a DIY project and just get some little bells and hang them on an old leash or hang them on a piece of string or something like that. So, does anyone, can you leave a comment when you drop in so I can see who's there and say hi? Hopefully some of you are working on this with your puppies at home. So when you start out, if your puppy's really young, so let's say you just got them, they're 8 weeks old, 8 or 10 weeks old, and you're going to start doing this bell training with your puppy and you don't really know where to start. So normally when they're that little, what you're doing is you are grabbing them right when they're about to pee in the house, or as soon as they wake up from a nap. Hi, Lucy. See you on there. So as soon as they wake up from a nap, and you're basically carrying them to the door and opening it up because you don't want them to pee on the way. So if their puppy's really young and their bladder control is really difficult still, and they're struggling with it, so you can just pick your puppy up and then you walk over to the door. And what I'll do is I'll actually go and I'll ring the bells for them. I'll just ring, and then I'll open the door. And then I'll open the door myself and take them out. So that's for a really young puppy, just to get them used to hearing the sound of the bells associated with the door opening, which is really important. That's what we're kind of working on here. So the next thing you want to work on with your puppy once they start to gain a little bit more bladder control is you want to start asking the puppy to ring the bells. So you're going to let the puppy walk over towards the door. So let's say they start sniffing around. You're like, it's about time to pee. It's been an hour. I'm going to see if the puppy needs to pee. So they're sniffing around. So you're just going to walk them right over to the bells. And before you open the door, you can offer the bells to them. So you can touch the bells and hold it in front of their face. And if they touch it with their nose, then you say, yay! And you can ring them a little bit more to make more noise and then open the door and let them out. And that's usually how I start doing it. So I'm just gonna demonstrate here with this little monster, and she's gonna show you how she rings the bells. So, or she's gonna run off and not be a part of this. Bailey, come on, little. Good girl. Oh, I got the treats. I got the treats here. Good girl. Okay, so when we come up to the door, what I normally do for a puppy that doesn't know how to do this is, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the bells and I'm just gonna show them to her. Yeah, so she's kind of jumping up right there. And then what I'll do as soon as I do that is I'll open the door and I'll let her out. I don't want to run out the door right now, so I'm not gonna do it. But that's the initial thing, is that you're just showing the puppy, here's some bells, why don't you touch them? And they're accidentally gonna touch them somehow. So they may just throw a paw on there, or accidentally hit them with their nose and make a ringing sound, and then you're gonna say yes or yay, and then open the door and let them out. So that's the first step. And once your puppy starts to get that, it's really important that you repeat it so that it becomes a routine. So every time you approach the door, you ring the bell before you let the puppy out, and you start asking the puppy to ring the bell every time before you let them out. And once they start doing that, it really starts to catch on quickly, and the puppy will start ringing the bells when you go over there, and they'll start ringing the bells as you start walking towards the door. And then you might be sitting on the couch one day and you hear the bells ring and you're like, oh my gosh, the puppy needs to go out. That's awesome. So really important that you repeat that as often as you can. So with a puppy, you're going outside so many times during the day that you get a lot of repetition, a lot of practice with that. So the important part of this is that every time the bells ring, you open the door. So what happens sometimes is your puppy will start ringing the bells to go out to play or just to go have some fun outside. That happens here sometimes because King Arthur, my big fluffy dog, is outside, and if the puppy becomes good friends with him, they want to run out there and play with him. So sometimes what they'll do is go and ring the bells just to go out to play. But because we're using the bells as a potty training tool, it's also kind of becomes an I need to go outside or I want to go outside tool. And while I'm working on potty training, I just let that go. So it's my job that anytime the bells are rung, I go and open the door. It's a little contract you have with your puppy, and you just honor that contract. Even if you know that they just want to go outside and have a little play and a little sniff around. So I had some ideas just to some troubleshooting if you run into it. So I have had some puppies that are scared of the sound of the bells, or they're scared of the bells in particular, and it's hard to get them to touch them. So what I'll do in that case is I'll just grab some treats when I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna show you with Bailey. Bailey, come on, puppy. Come on. Good girl. So what I would do in that situation is I would just put the treats right on the bells here so that the puppy gets used to being close to the bells. So she's obviously not scared of them. So if your puppy's backing away from them and they're a little scared, I'll just lure them closely and say, oh yeah, you're so good. You're getting so close to the bells. And another thing you can do is you can actually smear some treat on the bell to make it smell like food. And that will make it more likely that your puppy will go and touch them just like that. So she's ringing the bells. She might have to pee. That's her signal. So I'm going to go let her out right now. Good girl. You need to go play these. Go ahead. Go on. Good girl. So she's out there. She's going to have a little pee-pee. And also visiting with King Arthur out there. So some things that also really help with this is if you teach your puppy nose target behavior. So when they learn to hit their nose into the palm of your hand, that can also really help with this because they'll be familiar with touching their nose to something on command. And also teaching your puppy to shake a paw, you can kind of ask for the paw while you have the bells in your hand. And that also helps to teach them if you want them to use their paw to hit it. I actually prefer that they hit it with their nose because then you're not getting paws on the door and you're not getting muddy paws on the door and you're not getting scratchy nails on your door. So I prefer that they hit it with their nose, and that's usually what I encourage. So the sniffing is really nice. So if your puppy's kind of going at it with paws, you can try using the treats and putting the treats near the bells to try and encourage that. So I'm just going to check and see if she's done her pee-pee. So has anyone out there done any bell training with their dog and have any success with it? I know I love teaching the puppies here that come for board and train how to use the bells. The owners find it really useful, and I think it helps to speed up their potty training because they have a really clear way to communicate with you when they have to go pee and poo, and it just makes it really easy for them. So I think that's about all I have to say on the subject. So if you have any questions, and I'm going to keep the video up for as long as we need on Facebook, and I'm going to try and see if I can figure out how to upload it to my YouTube channel as well. And feel free to add some questions after the fact, and I'll answer them. Oh, Andrea says that Shadow is totally, because I taught Shadow how to ring the bells to go out, and he was one of the ones that likes to ring it to go out to play because he really likes King Arthur, so he picked that up to ring it to go out. And then I remember you saying earlier, Andrea, that he just likes to make sure that you're still following the contract, which is too funny. Okay, well, it was really nice. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you hopped on and had to hop off and you're gonna go watch the rest of the video, I'm gonna post it right away. Bye!